Welcome back to a Sky Blues Walk. Matt says he's the best keeper since Westwood. Yes, he kept us in the game against Bristol City. How are you all doing? Welcome back to another 20 minutes of Coventry Sat, plus some extra time delving into statistics of our games this week. Plus, we're talking who's the best ever penalty taker you've ever seen in a Sky Blue shirt. We're talking about our FA Cup draw. Did we like it or not? And we're up to the letter J, of course, in our A-Z of Coventry City. How are you all doing? We've got Ben, Jay and Scott with us. Tom is around somewhere as well. Hope you're all doing incredibly well. We're reviewing, of course, that Bristol City game as well. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about Preston, shall we, for a second. Ben, some people are suggesting the performances are just dropping off a little bit. We've had Ipswich, we've had Preston, we've had Bristol City. Based on what you've been watching, are they right?
No, I think... of course, they've dropped off from the early season when we were just belting everyone 7-1, etc. But I feel like it's getting to the stage of the season now where the squad's telling a bit. There's a few illnesses and injuries going around, and teams are finally sitting in on us. They're sitting in. There's a low block, and we're just struggled over the last couple of weeks. But it was always coming, I thought, and it was always going to be expected that we're going to have hard games and tough games. I mean, the fact that we didn't win at Preston away is no shock to me. But yeah, I just think we're grinding it. We're grinding results out, and it's good to see. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to win at Preston really. Even when they went to a man down, I was thinking, oh, here we go.
Okay, 5,000, nearly 5,000, Tom. There, of course, amongst it as well with yourself as well. Yeah, incredible support Coventry are getting away from home at the moment.
Yeah, I always say we have one of the best away followings in the league, not to our own horn. But we're always very noisy as well. I go to most of the away games, so I'm in there quite a lot. And to take 5,000 to Preston on a Tuesday night, that is unbelievable support. It's just a shame we couldn't get the result for them. But look, at the end of the day, we bounced back now, and we just got to look forward. But we never win at Preston, so I wasn't surprised, but I was frustrated by the end. I thought they were down to 10 men for most of the game, and we had some real chances, especially Hadji. But I'm not here to diss Hadji because I thought he's been played really well the past two games, and the goals will start flowing for him because he's definitely improved. So it was. I was frustrated, but I'm just glad we've won now.
Okay. Let's get into that Bristol City game then, shall we? Jamie says, yeah, Rushworth was amazing. He defo needs a call-up to the England squad. I'm not sure about that, Jay, but yeah, just haven't really talked about him too much on this little bit of the show. Just how good is the goalkeeper? Does he deserve more credit?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Cov fans give him a lot of credit. Obviously, after last season with Super Ben Wilson in goal and more notably Brad Collins, sorry to mention his name, everyone. You think Lampard, we spoke about Lampard and his amazing 12 months he's had. He's won X amount of points over a 12-month period. That's in a period of time where we had some dodgy goalkeeping displays in there. So it was a case of pretty much every shot somebody had on target who used to go in. Now, it's probably the first goalkeeper since Kieran Westwood who we've had that the fans feel confident in. He started off a little bit rocky, let's admit, but look, he's a young lad in a new team. I had full confidence in him. I've said before, I wanted to sign him prior to signing Doven when we needed that goalkeeper. I thought he's looked really good at Swansea when he was on loan, but he's just so calm and reassuring at the back. What I love about him, he sort of commands his area very well, comes out, catches the ball rather than punching it. He, on a couple of occasions while he's won his games, he's made some really, really good stops and saves. He's exposed a little bit by the defence at times, but he stands tough, and to go up, you need your goalkeeper to win you X amount of points a season. And I think he's definitely won us a couple of games. So yeah, hats off to him. He's doing really, really well. And shame we only got him on loan.
The cross in. That's a terrific save by Carl.
Cheers for that, Jay. Let's have a look at some of what he did then yesterday.
By Carl Rushworth from Adam Randall's header. It's pushed forward for Mehmeti, and that's kicked away. I think he took a deflection. The cross shot from Mehmeti off Liam Kitching. Get the challenge in, pulled in low. Chance. Oh, what a save! What a save by Carl Rushworth.
Is it fair to say, Scott, that Bristol City were unlucky and they should have got a point?
Yeah, in my opinion. I actually was having a chat with one of my lads' classmates. Him and his dad went, and I've spoken to him a couple of times since. And we could have, well, we did win it. It could have been a draw. They could have won it, really, looking at the chances that they've had. Counting wise, it could have probably been 4 each on another day. But yeah, I think they were unlucky to get a point. They scored a goal. The Sinclair Armstrong incident. He had his back to me. Don't know if it hit his hand. I've seen plenty of videos which imply it did. Whether it's a right decision or not, who knows? But I thought they gave us a hell of a game. I thought it was a good game for the neutral. Sitting in a blue shirt or a red shirt, I don't think the last 10 minutes was terrible for me, I must admit. But yeah, I thought they played pretty well and probably did deserve something. But fine margins, I guess, Mark.
Yeah, there's a lot of negativity on social media. I don't know if this is the fan base that don't go to the games. I'm not suggesting that. Doesn't mean that you're not so much as a fan. But I mean, there were these sort of comments, Ben. Conversation related, nowhere near good enough in my opinion, but 3 points, of course, is all that matters. Poor performance today. Shots off target are pointless. Forwards need shooting practice with another match, still we take it and move on. Yeah, there just seems to be a general unhappiness at the moment. You still sit top of the league, and there's a massive gap now to third, isn't there? What's going on?
It's hard to explain really what's going on, but we've had a few illnesses, like I said, and the team's just a bit. It seems just a bit. I don't know. We've still got a lot of the ball, and we're creating chances, but like 10 games ago, we was putting the chances away and was killing sides off early doors, and I'm sure it'll come back. I mean, we could have lost that game, but we could have been 4-0 up as well. Bristol City are a good side, and I say it every week. There's no easy games in this league. There's no easy games, and Bristol City will be right up near them playoff places come the end of the season. I've no doubt about that. They play some good football. They're hard to play against, and at the end of the day, we got a clean sheet, and we got a win at home, and we got that sort of monkey off our back straight away after the loss and a draw, and that was what mattered really.
Yeah. Is anybody worried about Middlesbrough?
They look
quite good. They do look good.
Now Rob Edwards has gone, they look good.
Yeah.
What I will say about Middlesbrough, yeah, they do worry me a bit, but it's 2 teams that go up. I would take second place any day of the week as long as we go up. I'd love to win the league, don't get me wrong, but as long as we get in them top 2 places. I think they look really good under the new manager. But I'm more worried about the teams in 3rd, 4th, and 5th place in Middlesbrough because it is 2 teams that go up.
Have they got a new manager bounce anyway?
That might be it. Yeah, that could be it.
Could be that, yeah. They're looking really good.
Yeah, 12-point gap's key, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. Who else impressed you, Tom, at the weekend?
I'm trying to think now. Hull. I thought they had a favourite away against Millwall. They're really underrated for me. I thought they'd be down there, but they're really punching at the moment.
Our players, Tom.
I meant your players.
Oh, sorry. I thought that is so
you want to
embarrassing.
compliment Hull if you want.
I thought you meant other teams because you were just talking about Middlesbrough. Sorry, my bad. Oh, that's such a bad moment. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, Rushworth was phenomenal. I think he is a phenomenal goalkeeper, and I think he won us that game towards the end, especially the last 10 minutes. It was very ropey, and it was very much squeaky bum time, as they say. So Rushworth for me. I thought De Silva was really good. I mean, he won the header leading up to the goal. Hadji, he should have scored. Don't get me wrong. I said he's going to be scoring eventually, and he will. I thought he created some chances, and I thought he was really good. Mason Clark, I thought he had a really good first half, deserved the goal because I thought he played really well. And I thought our defence as well, because I thought it was a really good defensive performance. But as we've all said, Bristol are a very good team. So I think it's a massive... I think come the end of the season, that's a massive win because Bristol are a very hard team to beat because they have some very good players. And I will say when Scott Twine had that free kick in the second half, I turned to my girlfriend and I said, this is going to go in. I was like, it's the goal. And Rushworth did well there. So I was very nervous. But yeah, Rushworth was man of the match for me.
Okay. Don't call them Bristol, though. They don't like that. They get very upset.
Oh, yeah, good point. And sorry about the whole thing. That was embarrassing.
Right, Jay, Southampton then away is another tricky. We talked about these 6 away games, didn't we? Being tricky. What have you got to do differently than you didn't do at Portman Road? Do you think?
Obviously, play more like Hull. I think, and that's what we need to do. I think the key for us is again at Ipswich. I thought we played quite well in the first half until they scored, and then that goal really sort of that Hurst. We spoke about before the Hurst incident. But again, that goal sort of really looked like it sort of knocked the wind out of us a little bit. if we play like we did against Ipswich in that first 30, 40 minutes, I think we're fine. But the key for me is Southampton are free scoring at the moment. We concede a lot of chances. We need to sort of tighten up at the back somehow, some way. Do we go a little bit more conservative with our fullbacks not pushing on as much? But then that obviously restricts maybe our attacking play. A point away at Southampton will be a fantastic point. But again, my mentality, a bit like Frank Lampard's mentality, is you go to matches to play and win. But I think we can go toe to toe with them. They have looked obviously a lot better under Tone Eka. But again, it wouldn't be somebody that sort of scares the life out of me. End of the day, I do genuinely believe that we are the best team in the league. Borough have been looking very good at the moment, but maybe it's a new manager bounce. They've got a bit of a favourable run at the moment as well. And I do feel that over the Christmas period, they may close that gap a little bit on us as well, just because we've got tough fixtures than they do. But then their sort of fixtures sort of really pick up in January onwards as well. But again, I think the players we were playing, I wouldn't be against Saints any more worried than any other team really. If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, as they say. So again, the only sort of tweak I would make is maybe sort of being a little bit more conservative with our fullbacks pushing on, so we're a little bit tighter at the back and don't give up too many chances, because Armstrong's bang on form at the moment and Finn Azaz bang on form at the moment as well. So yeah, but again, I think they should be more scared of us than we are of them. We're top of the table, playing well. We had a bad little blip of a win, a loss and a draw. So if that's the worst that we're going to produce, then yeah, they pretty much did the same at the weekend themselves.
Scott, there's been a lot of commentary around people assuming that Coventry are going up, and that's led to the more of a haters saying, well, you're probably going to go up with 100 points but come back down with 10. Look at Wolves. Do you ignore all that at this moment in time and just enjoy the ride, or does January transfer need to take in consideration that you are more than likely going to be playing in the Premier League this time next year?
Well, I'd certainly take 100 points and come back down with 10 if somebody offered it to me. I think I'd probably go for that if somebody offered it, to be brutally honest. I still think we need to strengthen in January. What are we, 21 games in, 25 games left, 75 points left to play for. I don't think we are going up certain. Ben might give me some decent odds knowing what he's like, but I don't think it's nailed on, like we said about Borough. The other teams, there are some results going for us, going against us, but I'm hoping we just had a slight blip at the moment and we get back on track. But it's not done and dusted, not with the amount of games left and the amount of points left. But I think we will need, and definitely probably will, strengthen in January for the second half. From January onwards, I think like everybody, there's 4 games in 10 days over Christmas. So we've spoken about sickness, bugs, and injuries. Let's just get through that and see where we are, and then strengthen is what I'd say.
Okay. Just before we move on, a big thank you to our community, which we're growing on here. Massive thank you to everyone who's commented. Just a few here: Ray Ryan, Espala, Paul Stratton, Andrew always comments on videos. And we're trying to get close to 1,200. We are very nearly there, about 80 or so, 20 or so away. Can you help us get there? Press the subscribe button, press the like button if you haven't done so already. And just thank you to everybody who takes the time out of their day on their phones or on their devices, whatever it is, to comment. We read every single one of them, and we're delighted that you want to engage with us on this channel. Ben, since we last met you, the FA Cup draw was made. What was your reaction to it?
Oh. Pass.
Jay?
Pass.
Tom?
Boring. It's always a championship team. I mean, it's a great story playing Mark Robbins again, but I really couldn't care less about the FA Cup this year. I think I'll go because it's away and it's not very far, and I've only been there once this season, and Mason Clark scored an overhead kick, which was nice. So, I mean, I don't want to go through, to be honest. Just knock us out and just focus on the league. But a very boring draw once again for Cole.
Yeah, Scott?
Yeah, same. I was going to say exactly what Jay said last week. I'm not interested. Let's try and get in the top 2 and go up. Would be my stance.
Yeah, reserves. You've done it, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. There's been so many penalties missed in the Championship this season, of course, so it's better leads us to ask the following. If it was 1-1 in a game, which Coventry player in the 90th minute would you choose from past or present to be nailed on to score the winning goal if it's a penalty? Jay, who would you put your money on?
Current player,
all the players you've watched.
Yeah, had you right at the moment. I think he's missed one penalty in his Coventry career, which against ironically Southampton. Last season, no, season before would have been actually, which I actually went to. So that had you right. Or a player from past Dion Dublin, you had a great record as well. And Gary McAllister, which I mentioned, I waxed lyrical about Gary McAllister. But one of those three would be my selection. But current player, I would go had you right because I think he's got a brilliant, cool head when it comes to those situations.
Ben,
I'd pick Victor Thorpe. I think he strikes a ball better than any player we've got, or potentially that I've ever seen since I've been a kid. And he's very, very confident as well. He backs himself.
Okay, Tom.
Current, I'll go with Hadji just because he scored so many. And overall, for me, I'd say Matty Godden. I thought he was really good at penalties.
Scott, any others to this list?
I came down to three. I looked at McAllister, Hadji, but only slightly better is Gokares. Probably, I guess, throughout his whole career, and probably includes Lisbon as well. But I think he's only missed 4 out of about 35, 36 penalties. And I don't remember him seeing him miss for Cov. Somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd probably go for Gokares.
Didn't he miss again? Didn't Brad Collins save a penalty?
Barnsley,
Brad Collins saved a penalty.
Did he?
Missed a few.
Yeah.
Missed one against Watford, didn't he? Do you remember?
I remember the Brad Collins one.
Remember that one?
Oh well.
I'll go for
Dabo then.
And shave.
Finally, this week we are coming up to the A to Z. We're up to the letter J. We're nearly halfway through this thing now. Thanks for your contributions to I last week, of course, as well, which was difficult. Who have we got for J then, Ben? Anyone?
It's a tough one, this, isn't it? You'd say Jimmy Hill.
Still sticking with the surnames, but we've got him in for H already.
There was Klaus Jorgensen, weren't I? Remember as a kid watching Klaus Jorgensen. It's all I've got for you, I'm afraid. I think Jody Jones.
Okay,
Jody Jones, yeah. I'm gonna say Jody Jones.
Jay, we have to put you in at this, right?
You nicked my pillow. But I was going to say, when I was younger, I don't know why I used to really rate a player called Ian Jess, but he wasn't actually very good. But I had his name on my back and stuff. He's only sort of Jay, but Jay Jones is a good shout. But I was going to say Sky Blue Jay.
Sky Blue Jay.
Yeah. Scott,
can we say? Sorry, I just interrupted you. I'm sorry. Can we say Japanese Messi? Does that count?
Jesse.
Not allowed. Is that allowed or if not Jody Jones?
Yeah, I looked at Owen or Ian Jess as well. I did look at Lucas. I can't say his surname now. It's Jukovic, I think. He scored a lot of goals and went to Birmingham. He banged a few goals in, but I ended up with what Ben said. Fans' favourite, Jody Jones.
Okay, Jody Jones. It is right. Yeah, we're up to K then next week. So join us, of course, for that, and also look back on Southampton, of course. As well. Thank you very much, you four. Stay tuned for Sky Blues Extra coming up as well for your extra dose of all the stats, all the juicy bits from the game this weekend against Bristol City. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next.
Okie doke. Bristol City, quite a game. I think we've spoken about it. Decent crowd, 29,500. I thought it was a very, very tough game. I didn't expect a whooping like some people did, because I know we've been banging goals in, but I think we've played them I don't know how many times in the last few years, and it's always been quite close, a goal in it here or there. Looked at some stats, some interesting stats there, which we can come on to. But the starting lineup, looking at the Preston game, I think if I've got this right, obviously KKH was out, Wolfie was out, Eccles was out because he got knocked against Preston. MVE comes in, he's gone back to a 4 at the back. EMC's comes in and Torp's coming, I think. So, were you surprised with the starting lineup at all, Jay, from what you saw or heard based from Preston?
No, when I saw it, I was quite excited, to be honest with you. I think on paper, that's probably our best starting 11. Again, there's an argument for Sims to be in ahead of Wright, but on paper, that is realistically, unless you guys sort of disagree, that's probably our most exciting starting 11. I thought the bench looked decent enough as well. Obviously, there's no BTA in there at the moment, but yeah, I thought it was a really good positive 11.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you mention BTA, he's really the only player we've got missing at the moment, isn't he?
Him, Dovin, maybe.
We miss him massively.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? That what do you think about the fact that Hadji started? I mean, he started on Tuesday as well against Preston. Tom, harsh on Sims for Preston and Bristol City.
I do think it was a little harsh on him, seeing his current form, player of the month as well. I would say it was a little harsh. I mean, I think Hadji has played really well the past 2 games. The only thing he's done wrong is not scored a goal. And to be honest, I've said this before earlier on the show, it's definitely coming for him because I think there was one point yesterday he turned the defence and he had a really good chance. You could tell he's passionate. A lot of fans at the moment criticising him, saying he doesn't care. There's a lot of rumours coming out about him being upset with the whole Bamford thing, which is obviously a lie. But you could see it, put it on his Instagram, the celebrations for EMC's goal, he's loving it. So he's passionate and he does want to score, and I think he does want to prove himself before the World Cup. I do think it was a little harsh on Sims, like I said, seeing as how well he's been doing recently. But on paper, that was our toughest 11. I think that was our best 11, as Jay said. And when I saw it, I was very excited. I looked at their lineup, a few decent players, and they did give us a good game. But Bristol are a very good team, and 100% think they'll be in the playoffs this season because, they gave us a proper game, especially towards the end. But yeah, I think it was a really good starting 11, so I was really happy with that. Just hopefully no more injuries and illnesses because there was the bug going about. And I think we do miss BTA massively, but I think that's the only crucial player out. Obviously, Dobbin to come back as well. But I think BTA is already training because there was a video I saw on Instagram with BTA and Sims with the player of the month thing. So that's good. He's back in training. He might be back sooner than expected, but fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, I saw him come on at Ipswich, Hadji, for 15 minutes. A bit like everybody else, didn't do much, didn't have the chance to do much. And I was quite surprised myself to see him start against Preston. I know me and Jay had a chat, and I think it sounds like he's probably Frank's number one over the 2 of them. But to get 15 minutes and then start, I was quite surprised, to be honest. But I missed the first half of the Preston game, and everything that I read, or even Jay said, how well he played. He gets himself in there, got chances, maybe should have scored 1, maybe should have scored 2 against Preston. Did the same yesterday. I thought he was banged up for the game yesterday. People have called him lazy in the past. I thought, he was all over the place. I thought he got into chances. And the chap next door but one to me at the ground said, based on what you've seen, would you have picked him over Simsy? And I said, from what I've seen of him today, I don't think Sims would have done what Hadji's done today. Different players, in my opinion. But he wouldn't have got the ball on the turn, and I don't think he'd have done, what Hadji did. So I thought he had a pretty decent game, really, which, I was not quite surprised at, but after the Preston game, but I didn't think he'd come back, and show all that grit and determination. But, I thought he played very, very well, and we had plenty of chances, really. But I mean, the 2 boys either side of him, Tats and EMC. Tom, in your opinion, those 2? I thought Tats was a bit out of the game against Preston. It seemed a little bit again yesterday that seemed to go down the left a bit more than the right.
No, I do agree with that. I thought Tats wasn't the greatest. Not slating him at all. He still did his usual stuff, which we love. I do want to shout out EMC for yesterday because I actually thought he was really good. First half, when we went in at half time, I was thinking, yeah, EMC's really impressed me that half. He was getting about you. I thought defensively he was okay as well. I noticed it quite a lot throughout the game. He was creating chances. He was making a few chances himself. Yeah, and I really think he deserved the goal. Right place, right time sort of moment. He puts it away nicely. You'd expect any player to do that from there. And his passion when he scores as well, kicking the ball into the crowd and a big roar from him. So, yeah, I thought EMC was really, really good yesterday. I think he was just below Rushworth for man of the match for me, but I was really impressed with him. So long may it continue for him as well, because he's a bit of a hit and miss player, I've always said, but if he's playing like that on a weekly basis, then yeah, that's a very impressive performance. Though.
Yeah, I read a lot about EMC, and I must be in the minority because I didn't think he was that great. To be brutally honest, I've seen a lot of people. I've seen the words superb and amazing. I've seen sitting there thinking, I must have watched a different game. I've read all these updates, but I was thinking, You know, he's strong. He's as strong as an ox. I think him and McCrory had a right old battle, strength-wise, going down the left. But I can't remember him going past him too many times. I could be wrong, and it might just be my memory. But I thought he was okay. He did all right. But I didn't think he was as good as a lot of people thought, personally. I mean, it got towards the end of the second half, or probably 10, 15 minutes ago. And I don't know if it was coaching or on purpose, but he's on the halfway line with Sims or Hadji waiting for the ball, and Tats is about 10 yards away from MVE. So I'm not sure whether he was told to stay up on the left or what. But yeah, I don't know what you thought, Jay, of Chevron, as he's known as now, Chevron Mason Clark with the
some goals. Like you at Preston on Tuesday, my Wi-Fi was crap where I was, so I didn't catch any of the first half really. So I just caught it on extended highlights. But in the second half, I thought he did quite well. I'm just looking at stats because I know you love a stat. 92% passing accuracy, 100% shot actually, 2 shots. Well, obviously one was goal. 5 out of 7 successful dribbles, which is obviously quite good. 1 out of 1 successful crosses. He created 4 chances. 2 shots on target, as I mentioned. Ground duels, 9 out of 20. He won. Yeah, okay. And then aerial duels, he lost 2 out of 2. He was fouled twice, committed 3 fouls. So it looked like a solid performance from him. But what I saw in the second half, which we won't jump that far forward, I thought he did quite well. He was attacking his fullback quite often and regularly, which is something I wanted to see. He was coming inside, and I thought him and Jade Silva sort of dovetailed each other quite well in that game as well. But I thought he did well enough. I didn't really see Tats too much in the game in the second half. He had that one sort of dribble right at the end. But yeah, again, obviously we'll jump onto the second half in a little bit. But I thought from what I saw, he did okay. And again, like you, I've read that he was really, really good in that first half.
Yeah, quite interesting that first half. Well, it was 0-0 at half time, wasn't it? And chances galore. I think Hadji had a couple of chances. I'm trying to think of the Bristol City chances now, but they were probably more second half, really. But I think Sinclair Armstrong had the goal disallowed. I think he hit the post as well. First half. I mean, I thought he was a bit of a handful, Sinclair Armstrong. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I actually wanted to mention him because I was watching him quite a lot. I could see him getting very frustrated. Very quick play up, held it up very nicely at some points. The only thing he lacked was goals with scoring, because I thought he got himself about really well, though, yesterday. I thought he gave Kitchen and Thomas a really hard game, to be fair.
Yeah.
And he did look a really good player to him. The goal, I do think, here's the thing, I do think it hits his hand. You can see him get given, you see him don't get given. I personally think the refs made a good decision. Might sound a bit biased, but I do think it hits his hand, and I do think it's the right decision. But I thought they were unlucky not to score because they had a lot of chances. I think it was him as well that had the chance in the first half where it was like bottom right, and I think Rushworth did really well to get down there. So
yeah,
he got himself about. He had a few chances. I think he hit the post as well. So it was a good performance from him. But if he scores, I think it's a really good performance because he got himself about quite a lot. He did.
Yeah, you've probably seen him a bit at QPR, Jay, because he was there, wasn't he, before he went to Bristol City?
Yeah, I as people probably don't know, I live very close to QPR game. Got a few friends, so I'll go to a couple of games a season if I got a free ticket. I'm obviously not paying for them. Obviously, and I don't wear a QPR top as well. I'll make sure actually, one time I did get my cough top, and I got told to cover up in a very hot summer's day, so I'd wear a hoodie on that day. But yeah, I've rated Sinclair Armstrong. Again, like the Bristol fans I'm sure will say, his biggest problem is scoring goals. But he's a real handful. He's a big, aggressive, direct, pacey forward. There's a tweet I did a couple of years ago, which I'm sort of proudly a bookmark. I'm just hoping for a couple of these signs to come through. I said, I hope we sign Rushworth. KKH said, we want to sign Raksaki. I said, I wanted to sign, which obviously needed in the summer, apparently. I think Armstrong was one of the strikers I had on my list. Jay Stansfield was another one, so let's keep that one quiet. But when one more two of those players, I'll sort of definitely bring that tweet out in the future just to brag how football genius I am. But yeah, he's I basically thought this is obviously in the Robbins day. He was a raw entity at that time. His contract was expiring, I think, in a year's time, and I think Bristol got him for £1 million. So I thought this is the season after Sims and Hadji got their nearly 19 and 18 goals, I think. So I thought as a backup striker for them, young raw forward that maybe somebody like AD and Robbins could have moulded him into a top-class centre forward. Soon after that, AD, I think, disappeared. So that was never to be, unfortunately. But again, looking at the highlights and the second half and what I saw, he's the player that we all sort of knew and expected. He's a handful. He's going to be on the shoulder. He's going to barge centre backs out of the way. But I thought from what I saw, again in the second half especially, I thought Bobby and Kitch handled him quite well. But in the first half, it did look like he got a few opportunities. But yeah, he did what he did. He sort of caused a lot of problems, but didn't score.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. That's why I mentioned him about Bobby and Kitchen, because I thought they both got stuck into him, because they're both quite a bit more controlled aggression, certainly now from Kitchen these days. But Bobby was a bit of a beast. I think there was one instance in the first half where, like Tom was saying, I think he turned on the ball in the box, hit it straight at Rushworth. Thankfully, he was in the right place. He's hit the post. Talk about goal disallowed. But yeah, there was one time in the second half when I think we lost the ball and Torp went down. I think somebody must have caught him or something. He just went down. The ball was trickling to their half, and they obviously played on. And I think, was it Sinclair Armstrong or not? Somebody went to the board anyway, and Bobby just almost waited for him and not smashed him in half. I can't remember who it was now, but he was quite clever, I thought, Bobby, and the bits that I saw of him closer to where I was sat. But getting in the way and almost like drawing the foul off him, because he's obviously a big brute and what have you. So I thought they handled him quite well. And at times did quite well to drop off him. Knew the ball was coming over the top, dropped off him because he's very, very quick, and matched him. Well, probably got to the ball with him at the same time, and I thought he defended very well, Bobby. Both him and Kitchen. I think Kitchen's distribution's getting a lot better. Personally, Bobby played a cracking ball down to Sims in the second half, down the channels, absolutely beautiful ball, and he seems to be, dare I say, getting better at distribution as well. So I think defensively, I think you mentioned Jay De Silva earlier, Tom. I thought he had a good game myself.
Solid, yeah, really good game for Jay, and obviously as well, leading up to the goal. If we're losing a header to Jay De Silva, questions need to be asked. So yeah, but fair play to him. He had a really good game, and I say our most improved player this season as well. I've been saying it all season. I really, really like the look of De Silva this season. And yeah, I thought he had a really good game. Bobby and Kitch as well, especially against a big player like Sinclair Armstrong, because he's a tough player to play against. And I remember there was one tackle. I think it was first half. I think they were running in. I think Kitch proper snapped him, and I was like, oh, this could be a red hit. And there was no card. And I was like, actually, that's just a really good tackle. I do think their distribution's getting better. And as well as that, I think Bobby almost scored as well with the goal. He hit the post. So, yeah, really, really good game for both of them. And I just feel quite comfortable with them at the back as well. I know there's mistakes in them, but I think every defence makes mistakes. Look at Liverpool this season, for example. But I do feel very comfortable with them two at the back, and I think they work really well together.
Yeah, what about De Silva taking that ball out of the sky? I don't know if you saw that in the highlights, Jay, but I can't remember if it was a goalkeeper clearance or defender clearance, but it came down with snow on it, and De Silva on his left foot just drops it down. It's like, wow. That's the way to do it, isn't it? Milan. Didn't think he had a very good game myself, really, for him and his level. But got caught the ball a few times. Didn't really go forward, or didn't really interchange with Tats, in my opinion. But what do you think?
Yeah, the thing is... Oh, sorry, Jay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he had a good game for a little while now, to be honest with you. I think he's been a bit poor for a few weeks. Again, I didn't see the first half. In the second half, I don't think he didn't really do anything at all. Lost the ball a few times as well. Also got a bit of a silly yellow card. Preston, obviously, was completely missing at Preston, obviously. But and then even, obviously, Ipswich game, I don't think he he didn't really offer anything. Again, KKH with him, I was quite excited with him. They look quite good, sort of overlapping each other. But I didn't see any impact at all. Carlton before that, again, wasn't great. Again, Borough, I don't think he really sort of shone at Borough as well. So, again, the thing I like about Milan is obviously when he sort of bombs forward, but he's been a bit more reserved. I don't know if it's a thing or what, but again, obviously Jay's sort of shining a little bit on the other side. But Milan sort of his sort of key factors, his strong points are attacking, and that sort of that synergy with Sakamoto. Again, obviously the last couple of games, obviously Tats has been out, Milan's been out, but it just hasn't been sort of been as sort of as exciting himself and hasn't been that much of a threat as of late. But I'm sure it'll sort of come back. But yeah, I don't know if it's a tactical thing or what, but yeah, it just doesn't look right for me that on that right side, which is a bit of a shame because the left side's starting to sort of click a little bit in my eyes.
Yeah, there was a bit of chat about Rudy just moving on from Milan. Thought he did all right for the first 15 minutes. Obviously, he's another one to come back from injury, illness, shoulder, whatever it might be. But he looked all right to me in the first 15 minutes, and all of a sudden you can see him. He's doing this quite often throughout the game, and I'm not in. So I think I saw a picture of his arm strapped up as well, or his shoulder strapped up. But there's a lot of chat about him slowing things down at the moment. I don't really notice it that obviously myself, but you notice anything like that, Tom, about Rudy, or do you think he's obviously getting minutes on the pitch now, and he's obviously going to come back to it? And we've spoken about him being in the strongest 11, and he's not up to how he was 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, but. It's nice to have him in the side, I guess, and he's coming back. He just needs to, probably sort his shoulder out. I don't know if that's on his mind or not.
Yeah, I think with Rudy, I did notice he was slowing it down a little bit. Look, I didn't notice it that much, like you said. I think he's just getting back up to speed a little bit. He's been brought back from injury, and I think he's trying to get there. And I think the thing is, at the moment, he's definitely not 100% fit. He's not fully there. I think he's a bit scared to injure himself again at the moment. I notice a lot of players when they come back from injury, they're a bit nervous to get injured again, but once they realise, oh, actually, I'm all right, they get going again. It'll definitely come. I definitely still think he's our best player. We look at last season; it's such a shame with the injury, but yeah, he's going to take a bit more time getting used to. I mean, we think we took him off. I don't remember when we took him off, but I think that was a good decision. I mean, just got to keep resting him a little bit. 86 minutes he played. 86 minutes.
Yeah.
But that is good minutes in the tank for him. That is the positive. And he's definitely going to get up to speed, but I do think he's slowing things down just a little bit at the moment. But we did prove we can do it without him, but I still think we're better. I see a lot of people at the moment are saying we're better in the team without him. I think at the moment, yes, he's not fully there. Once he's fully fit, we are miles better with him in the team. I mean, as I said, just look at last season. He was unbelievable. Sorry.
I assume you agree, Jay.
Yeah, again, as you said, Rodoni is our best player in my eyes. He sort of really makes us tick. My sort of counter argument to that would be: is he slowing the play down, or are teams sort of playing a bit more of a defensive system, a bit more of a lower block? Because again, from what I saw, until we scored that goal, Bristol we had the ball and we scored quite dominant in their half. So. Is it a case of we're slowing the ball down, or there's just no space to sort of manoeuvre for him or the rest of the team? Because same for Preston as well. We were doing really well. I thought Rodoni had a decent first half. He was sort of picking up little spots here and there. But as soon as they went down to 10 men, they sort of sat back, cut off the sort of areas, and he sort of faded out of the game a little bit. Or is it a case of what obviously he's going to be waiting to get his sharpness back and stuff? But I think teams are sort of setting up a bit more defensive because we're the free-flowing Coventry City, banging in loads of goals and stuff. You're going to be a bit more sort of reserved playing against us as well. In that case, but again, also I do believe, same with Hadji, it takes 2, 3, 4 games to get your sharpness back as well. So realistically, hopefully on Saturday we'll see it, and they'll sort of bang a few goals in each, which would be amazing. But I think he's just lacking a little bit of that sharpness. But obviously, in my eyes, he's not the best player in Coventry. He's the best player in the league, in my eyes.
Yeah.
So form's temporary, class is permanent.
Exactly. It's interesting that you say that, because I'm pretty sure probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we probably mentioned on here that when we were banging 3, 4, 5 goals in every week, this, that, and the other, I think we all sort of said, sooner or later, teams are just going to come and set up defensively against us. And I thought Blackburn and Watford might do it, because we were probably talking then, and then I think Blackburn gave us a good run for our money second half. Watford did the same for us second half, and I thought Bristol City gave us a good run for their money second half as well. So, it's interesting to see, and we seem to be coping with it. So, it's the talk of the injuries, the sickness, and like we said, we're still 5 points clear and 12 points clear of third. But looking at the stats, we had 62% possession against Bristol City, and I think we were even more than that against Preston. I think it was 68 against Preston. Total shots, quite an interesting game. We had 21, they had 15. We had 4 on target, they had 8. Clear-cut chances, they had 3. And I think the stats show that we had none. corners each, block shots. It just, you look at the stats, you could see that it was a bit of an end-to-end free-flowing game, really quite an exciting game. But yeah, we'll see what we take from that. I was just going to mention before we move on to Southampton, man of the match. I think a lot of people were talking about Rushy. I think at the club, I think Bobby got man of the match at the club.
He did, yeah.
Tom thought EMC was close. Overall, I'd probably have to give it Rushworth, really, because I think he saved us.
I think we win that game because of him.
Yeah,
it was. I think we won that game, but then massive saves, and I think it's confidence for him as well. I think, I mean, as Jay said, a bit of a rocky start, but he's flying now. I think I'd love him on a permanent. I think he's unbelievable. But I think if it's not Rushworth, we don't win that game. Simple as. So it's got to be Rushworth for me. But Bobby's a good shout from the club as well. I thought he was really good. Yeah,
he did well. Like I say, that save at the end, unbelievable, really. I don't think anybody else would have saved it. But from what you saw, Jay, your man of the match?
I agree with everything Tom just said there. I think Bobby was a fantastic shout, but I think Rushworth in that last sort of 10, 15 minutes of a long game was, I think he just completely won us that game. That save at the end, and you saw Bobby's reaction when Rushworth made that save. He was jumping up like he just scored a goal. Yeah. Obviously, Rushworth got nice and calm, which I actually loved about it. And then after the subsequent corner, he came out and sort of claimed the cross from the I think the corner of the second ball, maybe gave it away, which was a bit annoying. But we'll edit that bit out. We'll about it. But yeah, I just thought he was really, really good, calm, reassuring again. He made I can't remember, one of the centre forward players came in and sort of headed the ball straight at him effectively. But he just nice and calm. But I think Bobby was a good second from what I saw as well in that second half. Yeah,
it's interesting. I said the same. I said he's just won us 3 points, and then he tried to throw it away within seconds. But it was superb. But I've probably said it before about his distribution at times. But what he does very, very well is he stops the ball going in the back of the net. That's what he does, and that's what he's there for. He's just superb at it. But I did have a chat with him afterwards when we were getting some pics with me lad and what have you. So I did congratulate him on his save. So I think he was obviously happy with that. Obviously,
Scott. Next time you get an autograph for the Sun, make sure you have a contract and just blank the bit out.
Yeah. On a free, no money involved. Come on.
Yeah. I went down to Exeter away when Gustavo, I think it was his last game, and he signed my son's shirt. And I did say to him, I said, you know what, underneath that, because I folded the shirt in half, I said, if I open this up, it says, I'm signing for next season, and you've just signed it. But obviously I didn't, but that would have been nice. But
meant to be, was it, with Gus? Yeah.
No. Frank was lucky to get away with getting smothered last night as well. But on to Southampton away. I know we've spoken about it earlier. Where are they? They're 10th at the minute, 30 points, goal difference of +5. Last 6 games, lost 3, won 3. Their last 4 home games, they've scored 3 goals each game. They beat West Brom 3-2, Blues 3-1, Leicester 3-0, Sheffield Wednesday 3-1. And obviously they lost Saturday away at Norwich. They lost away at Millwall 3-2, won away at Charlton 5-1 and QPR 2-1. So, their home form looks very, very good in the last 4 with banging 3 goals in. So I know when you were talking earlier, my brain was sort of thinking 3 centre halves, like we did at Pompey, but it didn't stop us going forward. We still went forward at Pompey, and I thought we played very well at Pompey, even with 3 centre halves. But what would be your thoughts on formation and personnel on Saturday, Jay?
We're just looking at having a quick look at it. They played 3 at the back again on Saturday.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we just could go 4-3-3. Frank's favourite formation. Go with the 4-3-3 and go and play our game rather than worrying about them. Again, they've scored a lot of goals. So again, as I mentioned earlier, maybe a few little tweaks just to be a bit sort of secure at the back there. I don't know how that will sort of look, but that would be fantastic. But Southampton give up a lot of chances as well. Yeah. Just having a look at the stats. Norwich this is Norwich we're talking about, who in the relegation zone, 1.33 goal expectancy, which again, I'm not a massive XG fan, but that says something. They had 16 shots, 5 on target, missed 3 big chances, compared to Saints, who had 12 shots, 4 shots on target, and 3 big chances. So equal on big chances, but gave up a lot of opportunities as well, which is obviously away from home. And then, they're scoring a lot of goals. Birmingham scoring a lot of goals at home, but got a draw at 1-1 at the weekend as well. So nothing's impossible here. Just looking at their last home game against West Brom, they won that 3-2. Again, XG 1.1 for Saints, 1.33 for West Brom. Again, the Saints won 3-2. They had 8 shots on target. This is at home. 8 shots, 4 on target, 2 big chances created. They scored 3. West Brom had 18 shots, 7 shots on target, 3 big chances created. So they're doing well, but also they are giving up opportunities as well. So we need to make sure that we're ruthless with our opportunities that we do create, because we do create chances.
Yeah.
And also at the other side as well, we need Mount Rushmore, our beloved goalkeeper, to be bang on form as well. We need our centre back to be bang on form, and we need our full backs to be bang on form as well. But just have that little bit of a tweak, because Armstrong's bang on form at the moment. Finaz's bang on form at the moment as well. They've got that Brazilian player, I can't remember his name, begins with an S. He looks very, very good. Sign, I don't know how to pronounce his name. But he looks bang on form as well. He looks like a good creative spark for them. Also, I think they've got a few injury problems. But again, they've got a big squad, so it shouldn't be an issue at all. So, again, 1 minute I'm like, a draw would be a good result, but again, this is Frank Lampard's Coventry City, as the media like to call him. So I'm sure we're going to go there for a win. I'm going to say we'll come to full predictions in a little while, but I'm going to say we're going for a win.
About you, Tom? I think when we were talking earlier, I think somebody was saying they play is it a 4-2-3-1 formation? You think, well, when I said 5 at the back, would it work? Wouldn't it work with 1 up top? But I think they swarm forward quite well, and they've been quite decent with this new manager as well. So, what be your thoughts on Saturday if you were sat in the hot seat?
I think I agree with Jay. No disrespect to you, Scott. Obviously, I'm going to go 4-3-3. I'll just go with our usual, what we know best and what Frank likes best. I think if we go there and play our game, there's no reason we can't go there and get something. I think it's going to be a really tough game. They've got a big squad. I mean, look at them getting bad in the Prem last season. They got the parachute money. But, a really tough game. They've got a really good squad. Tinnett Saz at the moment is a player that I've always highly rated, even when he was he at Borough? I think he was at Borough before.
I think so, yeah.
A player that I've always highly rated. So, they've got Armstrong as well. Yeah, I think they've got a really good home record. I think one of the best in the league, if I'm not wrong. But we've got the best away record in the league. So I'm a bit like Jay. 1 minute I'm thinking a point's a good result, but I'd love to go there and get all 3 and then bring it back home for Boxing Day against Swansea, then the game against Ipswich. So, but really tough game ahead of us. But I don't think we have a great record there. I think the last one went there, we lost 2-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Went there in the FA Cup a few years ago and lost as well, which was a bit of a heartbreak because I thought we played really well that game. But I think right now I'd take a draw, maybe closer to Saturday. I'd say I'd take a win. So yeah.
Just on that point, I'm sorry to interrupt. Their home record is they played 10, won 5, drawn 3, lost 2, scored 16, conceded 10. Obviously, a lot of that would have been under Will Still as well. So you don't really know what what that sort of means exactly as well. But I just thought I'd bring that up as you mentioned it.
Yeah, okay. And in terms of personnel, Tom, same 11 that started yesterday. If everybody's fit and everyone's okay, would you go with the same 11?
If everyone's fit, I'll go with the same 11. And hopefully, Hadji will finally get that goal. So hopefully he scored since October. So I'd love to see him score. I do think Southampton were a bit unlucky not to get something at Norwich yesterday, because I did watch the highlights back. It did look like a handball. So, I'm not sure on that one. But, I mean, I'm glad they lost, because hopefully that might, do something for their confidence a little bit. Put them down a bit. But I thought they were unlucky. But, I'd go with the same 11.
Yeah, interesting. Same with you, Jay?
I put a question out on a little WhatsApp group that I'm in. I think you're in there as well, Scott. I'll keep the same 11, maybe one change, a bit of a tactical switch, and maybe put Eccles in for Rodoni. A little bit more energy, I would say, than Rodoni. Obviously, he hasn't got the sort of the quality in the final third, let's say, but I don't think that's really been shown from Rodoni at the moment. And then his best performance he's had over the last couple of games was that little 15-20 minute cameo when he came on against Borough. So if Eccles goes in there, does his job, I thought he started off quite well against Preston as well before he got that knock as well. Again, very controversial. I'm sure a lot of people will probably sort of say no to this against Eccles over Rudoni, but maybe that will be a shout where he maybe gives a little bit more defensive cover as well. He's very good at his pressing job also. Got a good pass on him. He can sit a little bit deeper as well, and give you that little bit more energy. And maybe around the sort of 60-minute mark, bring on a Rudoni to sort of kill a team off. In the case like he did against Borough, and bring his class on so he can be a little bit more sharp where there's tired legs out there. He's got an advantage. My question is, I'm putting it out there to you guys. I would do that personally, but would you guys?
What do you think, Tom?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to it. I think Eccles has been quite decent this season. I don't think Rudoni's fully there either. So I think that'd be quite a good change. We might get a bit of hate for it, because I know a lot of people don't rate Eccles, but I don't see why not. I'd be happy with either, or if Eccles is starting, I'd be happy. If Rudoni's starting, I'd be happy, because it's good minutes for Rudoni as well. So, but yeah, I don't think that's a bad shout, OJ.
I think if he'd have buried that chance yesterday and finished the game for us, I might be on your side. But yeah, just joking. But I thought that was perfectly lined up for him. I forgot to mention it earlier. In his orange boots.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I was thinking, that's game over. No, it was ball over, wasn't it?
I believe hit it over. Yeah.
He's time wasting, lad. He's time wasting.
Yeah, there you go.
I said the same. We're going to boot it over the bar, put it to Road Trent's head. But yeah, two great finishes before that. Yeah, I think he's like him. But I personally, I'll agree with you. Disagree with you two again. I'll go with Rudoni and stay with the same side. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Prediction wise, then Jay, I know you said you'll go for a win. What are you going for?
Okay, it may sound a bit crazy. I'm going with a 3-1 win. 3-1 win. I've said it.
Dream, as Spurs say, dare to dream.
Yeah. Oh, don't mention Spurs, please.
3-1. Tom?
I'm going to go 2-2. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a really tricky game. I personally would love us to go and then win, but I think they're in good form at the moment. I mean, obviously they lost to Norwich, but especially at home, they're in good form. I'll do 2-2. Yeah. I think it'll be a tight game. A bit like the Bristol game, but I don't think we're going to win it. So.
Okay.
What about you, Scott?
Have I frozen or have you frozen? It might be Tom that's frozen. I think we're going to lose 2-1. Dare I say it? I've got a horrible feeling we might get turned over. I know. I just don't have a good feeling about it at all for some reason. I think the way we've sort of, I don't know what the right word is, the way people have said we haven't played great that lately. The defence at times looks a little bit shaky, and it's not all the time, but I don't think we can get away with it, against what I would probably class as a very, very decent side. So that's my... Sorry?
They're a Premier League team end of the day.
Yeah. That's my worry. You give Armstrong 2 or 3 chances, he don't miss them all. And Afiz, if that's the right way of pronouncing it, he's the same. So that's my only worry, that we just need to tighten up at the back. If we can, I think like Tom said earlier, Rushworth's on his game and the 4 boys at the back are on the game. I think we'll be a difficult side. But the way we're going at the moment, I just think we might give them too many half chances to sneak in. But I hope I'm wrong. Desperate.
My rebuttal to that would be that first 30-40 minutes against Ipswich. And that I thought we played really, really well. We just didn't take our chances. KKH had that header. Eccles had the
post.
Goalkeeper, made that brilliant save.
Rudy as well. He made a great save.
Yeah. So that's my only sort of argument against it. We can go toe to toe with any team in this league.
Yeah.
Again, I just hope that we just make a slight little. Again, I say we've made a slight little adjustment to be defensively solid, but then does that take away from the attacking prowess as well?
Yeah,
we'll see as well. Again, to be honest with you, I've said 3-1. I'm a stupid cop fan. I think if we had to play Real Madrid tomorrow in the Champions League, I'll sort of at last minute I'll be thinking, I'm sure we can nick it. We can nick it 1-0. I'm sure we can nick it 1-0. We're good enough. We're good enough to nick it 1-0. But for me, it's one of those head and heart things. I think it'll be a draw, but I just think I'm stupid enough to think we'll go and win at 3-1. So I'm sticking my 3-1 prediction.
We'll go with that.
Because I'm that stupid, basically.
Why not? I hope you're right. 2-2 draw, 2-1 loss. Well, I'm hoping you're right out of the three of us, and we can scab another point or three.
Yes.
I think avoiding defeat would be a great result there. Not that I'm saying we go for a draw. Obviously, nobody goes anywhere for a draw. But, if we ended up with a draw, I don't think it's a very, very bad result at all these days.
It's not. Again, my thing is that at the moment, the phrase "I'll take a point there before a ball's kicked" it frustrates me because that's not the way Frank Lampard plays.
No.
If the game materialises and again, like Preston, I'm sure the other day would have gone for the win, but I'm sure they're thrilled with the point. If that sort of scenario happens to us, I'll be thrilled with the point at that point.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
And to going away at St. Mary, is St. Mary's still what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah.
St. Mary's and taking a point is a fantastic result. But look, obviously appreciate Norwich were at home, Saints were away. They're there for the taking as well. Like every other team, I do believe that we are the best team in this league. Haven't been playing fantastic over the last couple of weeks, but we're still grinding out results.
Exactly. I mean, Preston went there and won 2-0 a while ago. Will Still was in charge, and they weren't playing very well. But Preston have gone there and won 2-0.
This is an enigma as well. It's a bit of an issue, sort of predicting these things because obviously trying to echo manager balance. They haven't made a massive amount of changes tactically from what I've seen too much. But it just looks like they're taking the chances. Under Will Still, the numbers look good. Again, you look at the highlights as well. They were still creating a lot of chances. Unfortunately, Finazza's and Adam Johnson weren't taking the chances. All of a sudden, he's out the door, and the next day they're banging the goals in, which I'm sure was pulling his little ginger locks out at the moment. What can you do that for me? But yeah, they were still creating chances and stuff. But they do look like they give up opportunities as well. So it's going to be a case of two boxes in the middle of the ring just punching it out. It looks like, and whoever can lay that sort of killer punch at the end, hopefully City will go and win it.
Exactly. Stay tight at the back and be clinical up front. That'll win the game by the sounds of it, won't it?
That is the key, my friend. That is the key, yeah.
And on that note then, let's look forward to Saturday and see how we go. Still 5 points clear. Top of the tree at Christmas. Can't be knocked off it at Christmas. 12 points clear a third. Can't get better.
It's a hard life, Scott.
Terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks for your time. I'll see you soon.
All the best, mate.
Cheers. Bye.